Hello everyone, this is DD1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at an early and late prototype slash sample of the Jimmy Slim Stalky character. This guy was originally designed and intended for release in the 2017 season, however, he was not released. He actually would have wholesaled for a pretty low price, kind of like the Lowe's Zombie, which retailed for I think actually $100 at Lowe's, because in the Sunstar catalog, Slim Stalky was $99, and that's basically retail price. So he would have actually retailed for no more than 150, I would think, which is pretty neat at like a big box store. Now, if someone ordered it from Sunstar, they'd probably charge way more to be able to make a decent profit margin. But yeah, this guy obviously is based off of Slender Man, and the name is pretty obviously a pun on Slim Shady. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty unique and interesting character. And there are a bunch of conspiracy theories and whatnot about why this guy wasn't released and what inspired this guy and whatnot, but ultimately it just wasn't made. But he was actually developed around the same time as the Jack Skellington life size, which we are still seeing made to this day. And because of that, they actually share the same hands. And there's something pretty different about the earlier set of hands that I'll get to in a second. But as you can see, these look different in many ways. Obviously, the one on the left is the later one, and the one on the right is the older one. This is the one used in the stock photo that was used in the Sunstar catalog, etc. And this one was sent to J. Marcus as a sample. What's interesting is this is one of multiple instances in the past where we saw samples sent to J. Marcus, but the item was not on the J. Marcus website. And then Sunstar didn't get a sample in, but it was in their catalog. So it's almost like they got them mixed up or something. I'm not quite sure the situation there, but nonetheless, this was used at the Halloween and Party Expo for the J. Marcus booth, and this one for the stock photo. And the one on the right is just much better overall. Now, it is pretty interesting, or should I say, maybe it's a net positive for people with the one on the left because it is 8.5 feet tall, whereas the one on the right is only 8 feet tall. So this guy is just towering high up. But there were a lot of features cut from this one, and some of them might be pros, some of them are possibly cons. So the one on the right here, they both have basically the same head, but as you can see, the fabric is stitched really different on it. So this one, it's really snug to all of it. You can see a lot more of the shaping. And this one, it's more stretched down, so it gives the head a really different shape. I guess this looks a little more like Slender Man maybe than this does. There are red LEDs in the eyes on this one. There are no red LEDs on this one. This one has a moving arm that moves side to side, and this one does not have a moving arm. This one's head bobs up and down a bit quicker, and this one's slower. Now, those are all the mechanical differences. Physically speaking, the clothes are basically the same quality. Maybe this is a little worse. The pants, I think, are actually slightly different, but there are 5 fingers on these hands and 4 on these. And Jack Skellington has the 4 fingers, so you can see where that came from, I suppose. Unless he has 5 and I'm stupid. But it was actually what seems to be a life casted hand, or a really decently sculpted hand, and then they chopped off all the normal fingers and added all these on. And you can see, of course, that there are only 4 here and 4 here, and then these two have 5. Uh, one or two of these was actually replica sculpted on because it was broken off and missing. Both of them had snapped necks when they were found, and this guy has shoes, and they are the actual classic Butler shoes, so they're like the rotomold or vinyl shoes. I think they're more so vinyl than rotomold. Yeah, vinyl shoes, And this guy actually did not come with any shoes, and he didn't have any shoes in the booth either. My guess is that in production, like with the Lowe's zombie, he would have had these vacuum-formed versions of the classic shoes. But honestly, these things, I just don't like them very much, and they weren't there originally. So my guess is either he just was not going to have shoes, or he came with those kinds of shoes, but they were accidentally cracked badly, so they just didn't use them. But I cannot confirm. Then you have the internal differences. So this guy is actually really kind of sophisticated in here, because he has a whole like foam padding thing for shaping that goes up there to the shoulders even. He has these strips of vacuum plastic. This one came undone in the back. He has a little modified hip piece with carved plastic there that's vacuum formed to give him a unique hip shape. And this is actually a very thick foam. And basically all of that is missing on the later one. I will say it does enable you to put this thing in a smaller box, and it's a little easier to take him apart quickly, but that's where the positives end. So you can see there it's one of these style hip loops, and then there is none of that foam padding whatsoever, and the shoulders are much less broad. And then unlike this one, you can really pose both of those arms. But yeah, I guess that's about it for comparing them. So I'll just demo this one first.
Are you scared or just simply frightened?
And here's what this one does.
Are you scared or just simply frightened?
And as I mentioned in the solo video on this guy a while back, it's a really cool effect with the LEDs because it projects the eyes onto the fabric. It's not just the LEDs as the eyes.
Going my way? Going my way?
This one seems a little louder, but you can see his head rocks back and forth a bit quicker, and it's a very different look in the face. But I'm going to honestly try and get these guys on sensor. I know he has a motion sensor in the neck. I don't remember if this one actually has one or not, but I'm going to try and get these going at the same time here, and I'm going to do them in dimmer lighting as well. Oh, that's kind of freaky. There's like a grainy effect on the camera.
Let me reach that for you.
Both of these guys have had cracked heads at various points.
What a fine little morsel you are. Are you scared or just simply frightened?
We'll activate them a couple more times here.
Going my way, my way. Don't be shy. Stay a while. Let me reach that for you. Let me reach that for you. What a fine little morsel. What a fine little morsel.
So yeah, there they are. The one on the right is 8 feet tall. It has moving arm and red LED eyes and motion as well as sound sensor and foam shaping. The one on the left does not have any of those things, but let me know what you guys think is the better one in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed.